points.
Going on with Lady D today. I'm your host,
Wayne McGee. I decided to run for Cleveland City Council because I'm getting tired of the everyday politicians always coming out when the cameras are on and not really working on the behalf of the people. I am a resident in the city of Cleveland. So instead of complaining, I decided to do something about it. Grab a petition, collect signatures, and get my name on the ballot for this upcoming primary election, September the 14th. You will see my name, Wayne McGee, for Cleveland City Council for Cleveland's Ward 12.
Very happy to be here. Very happy to have your support.
Well, welcome to my show. What happened, Larry? Did he mess up?
I messed up.
Oh, should we start over?
I don't think they saw the intro. I'm gonna start over again.
Okay. Are you okay? Hold on to your seat over there. Now, did you like that or what? Did my daughter lay you out or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's try it.
I made him wait till today. He been bugging me all week to see what she had did. Today, I'm your host,
Wayne McGee. I decided to run for Cleveland City Council because I'm getting tired of the everyday politicians always coming out when the cameras are on and not really working on the behalf of the people. I am a resident in the city of Cleveland. So instead of complaining, I decided to do something about it. Grab a petition, collect signatures, and get my name on the ballot for this upcoming primary election, September the 14th. You will see my name, Wayne McGee, for Cleveland City Council for Cleveland's Ward 12.
Very happy to be here. Very happy to have your support.
Well, good afternoon to what's going on with Lady D today. And today we have a wonderful guest in the house, no other than Dwayne McGee. Welcome to my show. How are you this afternoon?
All is well, Lady D. Thank you very much for the wonderful invitation.
Oh, thank you for coming on. It's been a while. I'm so proud to have you back. And we're going to do a little catching up. First of all, we're going to start off saying Happy New Year to our audience. Welcome for coming back to join us this afternoon. And we're going to get to know a whole lot more about Mr. McGee. Tell our audience, first of all, where were you born at?
I was born and raised in the city of Cleveland, in the state of Ohio.
Oh, excellent. Now, tell our audience, what inspired you to become an activist?
Well, what inspired me to become an activist because living in the city of Cleveland, it has many great elected officials and activists. And the 2016 RNC came to town in Cleveland. So that really inspired me to actually do something. The presidential candidates, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. I was eligible to vote at the time, and now that I'm eligible to vote now and continuing, I will continue to be a voter. I will continue to be a citizen in the city of Cleveland and express my right to vote and share to many of the youth that once every time they vote, they're getting their voices heard.
Is that a fact? Because today, a lot of our, not only, I would say the youth are being more active in voting than the older adults. Can you tell me why is that?
Well, for the elders, I speak to my grandparents a lot, and based on their knowledge, though, they have voted and they will continue to vote. But sometimes as voters, every time you vote for a candidate that you like, they necessarily don't get elected. And sometimes I figure as a voter, that's what the thing is. You stop voting because you figure, well, every time I vote for a candidate and they don't get elected, then why should I continue to vote? But once again, we always didn't have the right to vote as citizens and as African Americans. But now that we have the right to vote, we have to continue to use the voting platform as our voices to get heard, no matter if you're a part of the elders or the youth. We have to use it as we have it now.
And what age would you say that our young people should really consider getting involved into their rights knowing what public service is about and the voting issues?
Well, I got started in my late 20s, but for anyone who's inspired, they can be inspired by any time. 15, 14, 16. I was in my late 20s though, but you don't have to wait until then. Anytime. Even as soon as you come out into this world, you can be an activist. Just start off speaking.
That's right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I know that you're a graduate. Give us a little background history. So what school did you go to? What school did you attend here in Cleveland?
High school, I attended the Git Academy. For graduation, I graduated from Ohio Guidestone in 2016, earning my certificate in hospitality, and then joining the workforce program after that. And I've been working ever since then. But at the same time, getting started activism, I like to thank Ohio Guidestone for showing me their support and the Git Academy for showing their support as I continue to be an activist and as I continue to be a public servant amongst all of those who are in Cleveland or in the state of Ohio or even in America.
Okay. So tell me, what has been some of your challenges or honors as a public servant?
Challenges. Man, there's been many. It's been many as an elected official or even just an activist. Challenges. Meeting candidates who actually want to do something, really do something with the position if they get elected to, do something with it, not just in it for the fame or for the riches or anything like that. Getting into it because you want to publicly serve the people. And then for some rewards, being around those who've been in the political arena for years, meeting those such as former Congresswoman now who is the Secretary of HUD, Marsha Funch, and also Shontel Brown, who's not a Congresswoman now. I've known her for a very long time, and congratulations to her being a successful Congresswoman and also my Congresswoman in the 11th Ohio Congressional District. And also being the great nephew of Virgil Brown Sr. So that kind of gave me a platform to start off with, but I also wanted to go off on my own and not just live off the name of my Uncle Virgil.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what position or have you ever ran for office?
Yes, I have.
And what position?
In 2018, I got elected to my first seat as a Democratic precinct committeeman. From 2018 to 2022, not choosing to run for re-election. I wanted to let somebody else hold the political seat.
Do you see yourself wanting to run again?
Yes, I will, but only if I know I could win.
What changes are you going after to make in this community?
Well,
if you had that opportunity again.
Well, if I had the opportunity, if I do get elected, if I was elected, and if I do get elected, basically definitely having the people participate in the decision making when it comes to decision making of elected officials. And if no elected official has that ability to, or they choose not to, then I would like to be the first.
Tell me, so being an activist,
Mm-hmm.
is that something that you have to go to school and get educated on? Or, how can one become an activist?
Well, for me, I was self-taught, really. I went to the library and I read the books, read many books on law as well as that too. I didn't attend school for that, but there's many people, elected officials and activists who actually went to school for, political science or anything surrounding that topic.
Okay. And I know there's different type of activists. What type are you?
I'm a human rights activist, nonpartisan, representing issues that should not have party labels on them.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more. Tell our audience a little bit more about what is it that you do.
Well, based on human rights, voter reform, education, human trafficking. One of my close friends, Mr. Emmanuel Young, who is a self-defense instructor, he brought to my attention that human trafficking is a very big issue. So with that, I took on that as an activist too. No matter in small towns or big cities, human trafficking is a very big subject and a very big issue that is taking place here in America. And if I could start in the city of Cleveland and spread it all through the state of Ohio, then so be it.
Do you see our city handling that issue, I would say, better than what has been? Because I know years ago, it was something that was really kind of like low-key, not talked about as much. But then after the young ladies that were found over in the house, you got to hear more and more about this issue.
Yes, many young ladies have been discovered. Ariel Castro, that was one, and then I believe Anthony Sowell.
Yes.
Two big ones here in the city of Cleveland, one on the east and one on the west side. So with both locations being on both sides of the city, that lets you know it's not just on one side, but it's both sides happening all over the city. And with that said, I believe under Mayor Justin Bibb's administration, I believe they're so far it's been a year since he's been mayor of Cleveland, and I look forward to what he's going to do with that, and I look forward to continue to bring awareness to his administration and him directly about human trafficking and other issues that matter when it comes to people, no matter what political party.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I think it's really important that even with that being said, when you are not just raising children, but having the family circle, that the communication lines are open, far as letting someone know where you all are at all times. I know now today's technology on our cell phones, you know, you can put on your cell phone and, you know, your friends can know where you are at all times. So I think that's pretty good.
Yes.
So what other changes are you looking to see happen here in our city?
Changes, well, I must say.
Because I know there's so many, but just, you know, tell us a few changes that you would like to see take place.
Well, not coming as an activist, but coming as just a regular citizen.
Yes.
You know, where you go from the Mayor Jackson administration to the Mayor Bibb administration. And I believe Mayor Bibb talked about actually bringing up the city of Cleveland, like bringing up to par with technology and, you know, trying to get out of that most known city as being the poorest, biggest city here in America. I believe I used the right wording for that. So Mayor Bibb wants to uprise it and bring it up to date. So I look forward to that. Yeah.
Okay. And so how long have you yourself been in this position?
Human rights activist. I decided to do this after my Cleveland City Council race in 2021. I didn't pass the primary in September 2021, so I decided, well, should I run for something in 2022, or should I do something else? Or I was like, I'm not going to depart from the public service arena in Cleveland, because I have been giving myself to the state of Ohio as a public servant for nearly 10 years. And for me, as an activist, I feel like I can do more than just if I was an elected official. And so as a human rights activist, connecting with Republicans and Democrats at that time, with 2022 being a statewide race, governor, U.S. Senate, U.S. Congress, have to let every candidate know that these issues matter as a voter, as an Ohioan, as an American.
Okay. So do you get out and attend different functions? You know, how do you go about hearing what the people want? So
different functions is actually how I connect with candidates, but connecting with voters, functions, but also being active in the neighborhoods. City of Cleveland, I've traveled to Medina to speak to some voters as well as candidates. I have traveled to Columbus, where the State House is, where you have the state senate and state representatives. They get elected on behalf of the people. I am one of the people that they represent, so my voice needs to be heard in Columbus and within the state of Ohio, and not just my voice, but everybody's voice. Yes.
Do you think this is your purpose in life? Are you going to continue? How long do you think you're going to continue to feel this way? You know, because sometimes we get involved in something that we think we like, and then, you know, you get burnout from it. Do you ever feel like, because this job, politics, it has so many different roles and so many games, and there's the ups and the lows and the highs, and, you know, do you ever see yourself wanting to do something different than be a public servant?
Well, I have this conversation with many of my fellow colleagues in the arena who've also still kept being involved, but also found other purposes to their lives. But I do feel that everybody has multiple purposes, including myself. I didn't start it in politics. Entertainment was more me. You know, I did poetry, I did hip hop rap, I did dancing. But I still want to continue to be a public servant, no matter if I do branch off into another purpose, which might come either sooner or later, but I will still keep myself as an activist or possibly as a future elected official.
How can we make it easy and engaging for others to join?
Well, contact your local elected officials, or if you feel that there's no elected officials that's, you feel like that are not hearing you, then as the entrance said, get a petition, collect signatures, get your name on the ballot, and run for public office.
Where would you go and get a petition from? I mean, this is information that someone who's interested that may not be aware.
Yes. Of course, if you live in Cuyahoga County or whatever county you live in, you go to the Board of Elections or whatever county you live in, and you go and you pick up a petition from there. It asks them what elections or what race could you run into, or you're eligible to run, and collect signatures from registered voters, no matter what party you're in, or if it's nonpartisan, you can do that. And go through the process, get your name, signatures processed, and if you're actual candidate confirmed by the Board of Elections, then you can campaign from there.
Wonderful. I want to know, how many signatures do one need to have in order to be on the to be able to be considered as holding a position, being nominated?
So with that said, when I started as a precinct committeeman candidate, collected from 5 to 15 signatures of the party that I chose to run in within the precinct. For Cleveland City Council, I had to collect from 200 to 600 signatures of basically any voter, no matter what party, as long as they live in the area that you're trying to run for.
Would you think of ever having a role in running as congressman, being a part of city council?
Well, city council, I tried that. Of course, I didn't get elected in, but I'm not going to necessarily give up on that. The next council race for Cleveland is 2025, so I might jump in that, or if Congress sometime in the future give me some time for that, yes. But it's interesting how for Congress, and recently discovered, you only need about 50 signatures to get on that ballot.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, newly discovered for me.
Okay. And as a congressman, if you were to run for Congress, what ward would you cover?
Well,
what's your ward?
Well, I live in Ward 12, but for Congress district, so far Chantel Brown has been doing a wonderful job in the 11th Ohio Congressional District, and if someday she chooses to retire from Congress when that time comes, I would possibly put my name on the ballot.
Okay, so you want to step into the hot seat.
Long time.
What do your parents feel about you getting out here being a politician?
Well, my parents really haven't expressed anything negative, really. It's always been positive, and they say, to Wayne, whatever your heart feels, follow your heart.
And so is there any politician that you admire and want to give credit to for guiding you or being a mentor to you?
Well, actually, it's not just one; it's many. But I'm gonna make that list short since we're here. Okay.
All right, because I know they would love to hear that. I mean, it makes a difference when you can make a difference in someone else's life and bring someone else along. That is speaking value.
Yes. Well, first, I do come from a family of elected officials, so I definitely like to start off with thanking my great uncle Virgil E. Brown Sr.
Okay.
He passed away in 2010. God bless his soul. But for those who've been around for many years, I've spoke to Democrats and Republicans about my uncle Virgil. They said he was a trailblazer and a gentleman. He was one of the very few African-American Republicans in Cuyahoga County to hold office, and well, that's his history right there. Also, I would like to thank also Congressman Louis Stokes. I never met the gentleman. He passed away way before I got into the political arena, but I hear he was quite a gentleman, and I met his family, his brother, former Mayor Carl Stokes. Yeah, I've met the Stokes family. They were very welcoming for me and everything too, especially due to the history that the Stokes family and my Uncle Virgil have serving Cuyahoga County to the fullest back in the day. Yeah, once again, it's a long list.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. That's good. That's good. So tell me now, are there any new projects that you're working on as of right now today?
Once again, there are many. The fact that we're done with the statewide elections and we're all on to the judicial races in 2023. I want to continue to spread awareness of some of the subjects that I'm currently fighting for. Once again, human trafficking, voter reform, child endangerment, definitely. So when you're a judge and you're in the courtroom, once again, don't forget about the people who elected you to this seat. Don't be like your typical politician. Although you're not a councilman, you're a judge. You do things behind the bench, but also stay involved in the community. So yeah.
Do you find that politicians, when they're running for positions, they get up and they say what they think the people want to hear, and then when they win the position, they do nothing that they promised? And could you tell me, why is that?
Well, yeah. I must say, as a person who's have held office and will continue to fight for the people, no matter if I continue to run for office or not. Once again, I didn't want to be the typical politician that just says a campaign speech on the campaign trail saying, "I'm going to work for you," no matter what political party and everything too. I actually went to the people and find out what could be better from the neighborhood from their perspective when I ran for councilman. That's one thing about the fact, one of the reasons why they elected me, because one, I was young, two, I had lots of energy, and three, I was willing to try and run even if I knew I had no chances of winning. Right now, I can look on the fact and say that even though I lost the race, I can still say that I tried to do something than not do something at all.
And that is so important. So that means never give up hope. Go strong at what you want to do. The sky is definitely the limit. We all are here for a purpose. Find what it is that you're good at doing. Like this young man here, who's 27 years old, and he's going down the right path. Because this is a challenging position, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yes.
Dealing with people, and hearing issues and trying to make changes is important in our community.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Okay, so should we be looking in the future to seeing more of you?
Yes, definitely. I'm not out of the political arena yet. I will still continue to fight on the behalf of the people, no matter what party. I'm always open to hear your concerns, no matter if elected or not. And you will see me around.
And if someone wanted to get on to join you, how could they reach you?
I'm active on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Twain McGee, on Facebook, Instagram, or you can contact me directly. You can email me at twainmcgee@gmail.com. That's TAWAYNEMCGEE@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today at What's Going On with Lady D. And if you are doing something amazing and want to make some changes in our community, please feel free to contact me at 216-571-2235. Again, 216-571-2235. And I'll be seeing you next week. Thank you. Have an amazing day.